Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I just always have so much to do.
That's beautiful.
And saving these wombs is constant work.
I'm so thankful for your works.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
constant work. So,
I excuse the lighting. Let me do this intro really quickly,
yeah.
please.
Okay.
All rights reserved. All rights reserved. This is Tommy Cole Show. We have on here today. I'm just so honored. This I don't. You're just so many labels and things and names and
Dr. Herbsistah is enough.
Dr. Herb Sister is a
Yeah.
very powerful doctor, herbalist sister, woman uh, who is a guide and healer of wombs. Is that a good way to put that? Help
A
a healer.
naturopath, or, it's many ways to put it. But the
Yeah.
thing is that all of us have the sense. People say sometimes, I knew I should have did that. I had the thought that I should have did that. So all of us have this intuition that we've been trained not to follow, because it doesn't go with the patriarchy. It is a power that's not controlled by the patriarchy, because it's in here. And so when you don't follow your intuition, that's when you have regrets. That's when you have, ideas of if I coulda, woulda, shoulda,
Yes.
you
And
know,
that goes into your womb. Greetings. This
all
is
of it.
we're talking about that gut, that second brain. They talk about the gut is the second brain. You know how you get that feeling when you have the willies or your stomach starts feeling funny or tense when you're in a certain space. That's your gut, your guide showing you that you need to pay attention to whatever that is. Take heed. I was guilty of not taking heed throughout sometimes in my life. And it shows up in your health. This sister knows how to help get you back to where you need to get on many different holistic levels. That's mind, body, and spirit. So I wanted to have her on here because lately I've been having quite a few friends who have been having womb issues. And I am in that age where we're going through menopause, some of us, and some of us are starting to really have some kinks and cracks and pops and all kinds of stuff going on, not just with our womb but with all different parts of our bodies. But the womb, your reproductive area, is really the core of a lot of physical ailments, because that includes your intestines, your rectum, your bladder, all of that stuff, is connected, your stomach even, you know so I love this sister on here to let you know that you have alternatives to surgery. Surgery is not always it could be, there's other considerations. I don't want to dissuade people from doing what they feel is best, I'll say, of course. But and all rights reserved based on the Copyright Freedom of uh, Speech Act, expression based on educational and informational purposes. We are diagnosing, discussing, dialoguing, podcasting, interviewing, sharing information about other ways to save your womb. Okay. I don't know how much amazing, wonderful time I have with this woman. So I want to put your information up as well. Please reach out to this woman. I do have a testimony and all that, but I just wanted to tell you in a nutshell what the core objective of today is. Today's information is just to get you to understand that there are alternatives, allegedly, supposedly. I am not a doctor, and thus I cannot, of course, fully say this and that and the other, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Well, you know what? This is the thing, is that you don't have to be a doctor to be in charge of your body. You don't have
Period.
to be a doctor to have talked to your friends and know what's going on with them and know what you've tried and what's worked. You don't have to be a doctor to understand that you feel like something's going on. And as many times as you've been to them, they don't get it. And that doesn't mean that it's not there. See, that's the thing that we just started off with the intuition.
Mm.
You gotta be strong in that, so that when you feel that you're right, about what's happening, and you feel it, you will continue to follow that, and you go into another person, and until you get what you need.
Okay, you saying trust yourself more. We have to learn how
Trust
to trust
yourself.
ourselves.
So
Period.
all of the, disclaimers you making, you know,
That's for
It is,
YouTube.
huh?
They make you do that on this
Oh yeah,
YouTube.
yeah. But I'm saying too is that what all of us must do is recognize that this is a magnificent machine that we're in charge of, and it doesn't do anything without certain parameters, without certain things being fed to it, without certain things being thought, without certain kinds of exercise and all of that. You're not going to get what you're supposed to get out of it, because it could last 120 years, but if you don't treat it right, it's not going to last, you know?
Period.
And if you start cutting stuff out of it, it's not going to last, because everything is like any other kind of machine. One thing depends on the other, you know? And when people come to me and say, I wish I'd have met you, 2 years ago, 9 months ago, 7 years ago, before I had, my womb cut out. Now, what can you do for me? I said, well, we can get you on a really good vitamin program so you can feel energized and hopefully be able to get some of your sexual, energy back, because, that can take it away for a lot of women is having a hysterectomy. And that's not something that's easily discussed, you know? And the thing is now, the doctors are going after younger and younger women. I've had women 23 years old whose moms came to me because they were trying to give their daughters hysterectomies. And I know women who are in their 50s who lived in certain states, because certain states are going to have a higher incidence of disrespecting Black women. Can we say that out loud?
Oh, I was gonna go into all of that. I
Oh
just
yeah.
this
I
time I
mean,
had with you.
Alabama, Mississippi, places like that. South Carolina, I know women who have already had a hysterectomy since they were 19.
Wow.
See, so you have to be your own best advocate, because there is nobody else that's going to do it for you like you, or hopefully you have some Black women who are your alliances who can work with you and be your backup for your ideas and your energy around how you want to be treated.
And how does that connect for those who may not understand how that connects? I have some data. We're going to get into all of that. I just wanted to get as much time out of Dr. Eshe before she has to go. She's a very busy person. So before I tap into, this show goes into all the sciences, holistic sciences, Hollywood gossip, celebrity stuff, and all that, mix it all together. Because, I know attention spans, are short, and part of this is entertainment. So I always try to connect in a respectful way as best you can. So-called
Edutainment.
Yes. So, but let me get your Instagram information and put it up here for us real quick.
Okay, everything is at DrHerbsistah at Dr. Herbsistah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, I have used this woman's products. Okay. Let me give a little testimony. Basically, I'm telling a little bit of my business as clean as I can for these YouTube and public streets. But basically, I had problems with holding babies. Okay. I would get pregnant and then I would lose them. And I had cysts and fibroids and all that. And when I had one burst before, it's very painful. And I was just starting to learn about, that's when I think Dr. Sebi first came to LA, which was like 98, 99. I started learning about his stuff, his dietary considerations. And that was pretty much not the first time, because I was hanging out at the Good Life, shout out Good Life Cafe in Los Angeles. So I already knew about clean living and things, but like actual herbs to take and things like that. There was Dr. Oh my God, he used to go to the Good Life. His Dr. Dr. B. Dr. B.
Yeah, Dr. B. Yeah.
Dr. B. He's amazing. He's on YouTube, y'all. Look him up. Dr. B. Serious. Okay, Cyrus. Let's see. Oh, so yes. So that's what got me into herbs. I was having cysts and miscarriages, and I was like, what's going on? And that's what I learned about diet, like how your diet has a lot to do with your womb health. And also Russell Herbal, shout out Dr. Russell off of Crenshaw 75th, woo woo woo. And also rest in peace, Dr. Goss with his CKLS, colon, kidney, liver, spleen. All of those different herbalists and scientists have really helped generations of people cleanse and detox and learn about alternative health places. If I'm missing anybody, it's not like intentional. But yeah, once I started, the herbal sister told me, hey, stop eating bread, stop eating donuts, stop it for like a year and see what happens. And that's what I did. I changed my diet. I stopped eating fast food. I used to be a fast fooder. I would eat fast food probably almost, if not every day, every other day, at least several times a week. And what I learned was how it affects the womb and all of that, like, allegedly. Okay, that was my experience. But I did stop eating bread and I stopped eating meat and for bits of time, dairy, and I detox. I took herbs, took herbs that help get old fecal matter and things out, and I have had no problems ever since. I stopped drinking milk, cow milk, and I haven't had fibroids ever since. And with this sister, I think my sister Shanti might have mentioned you before. Shanti, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Shout out to out in Atlanta, but a very couple of good friends of mine were having cysts like size of grapefruit in their wombs, and I called you, and you were so gracious. Y'all, I drove all the way from Louisiana to Atlanta
Oh, wow.
and came straight to. I picked up my home girl, and we rode to this doctor lady's house. She was so welcoming. I just called her, of course, ahead of time. She welcomed like she knew me forever, and that's how I respect you as well, like family for real. Um, and she welcomed us in. We tried her products. We purchased products, took the price, served my friend, and I left. My friend, unfortunately, she kind of sometimes stopped taking your product. But when I inquired, like, what did you do, girl? She told me even with the bit that she drank, it shrunk it from grapefruit size to tennis ball size. And then she continued to start using the products again. And then I don't know what else happened. I got to find out. But I use your products. I think you're amazing. You use old school ingredients that are always best. May I mention one?
Yes, 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 yes.
Sarsaparilla.
The sarsaparilla, the full body detox, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
love
the herbs are they have longevity. People with their own spiritual energy, they put what they want those herbs to do in various ways and formulas, and it's a million different ways. And the way that I did the womb detox that you took that got rid of the fibroids is
Mhm.
something that someone else hasn't done because we all come here with our own particular gifts, right? So, you know, um, people always ask me, can I just take this or can I just take that? Well, if those one, two single things worked, they would have been working before I was born, and I wouldn't have needed to do what I did. So that's the thing, is that the synergy of certain formulations and certain things that various people have in their spirit to put forth for the world are the things that are for the world.
Mhm.
So it is what we need to do, is
Yeah.
to pay attention to what we're here for.
Yes. Now, this is her phone number for those who may be interested in calling and considering her products. I guarantee you will be happy. You'll
They
be
need to
great.
text me first.
Text you. Text her.
They need to text me, right? Yeah.
Okay, that's 404-244-5565. Child, why don't I wear my glasses? I'm tripping. That's area code 404-244. Woo. 5565. There's her products. She'll ship them to you. They were icy packed cold. I was very appreciative. I don't know if I'll get dinged for this, but I'm not monetized. I'm not doing this for monetizing sake anyway. But this is real quick. I'm gonna put it away. YouTube. Okay, get grief. Um,
uh,
that's what it looks like when you just push it out. A lot of the homegirls have been telling me they've been getting surgeries and stuff, and I just be like, you don't have to get surgery. You know what I'm saying? Um, there are
that's not your first alternative. Your
right.
first alternative is to look at your lifestyle. because most of us have a high stress lifestyle. Even if we don't admit it to ourselves because we are accustomed to it, we have a lot of things that we can cut out of our lives, you know. Um, most of the time, I tell people, if you hate your mama, hate your kids, hate your husband or your partner, hate your job, hate your commute, hate where you live, you got to work on that stuff. You
Yes.
can't just say, give me a pill, give me a tonic, and then keep doing all that other stuff that you don't like, you
Yeah,
know? And that's the thing that people don't want to do. Those
they're
are the
afraid.
things that's hard.
Yeah.
Those that's work. That's what we call doing the work. And when you do the work, it all comes together and you will have a result. Now, some people want a result in these days, like Amazon. They want it today or tomorrow. We don't have that when you have had something going on in your life for, 10 years. When you have something that everybody else, female in your family, has, so that may be a genetic component for you. But what you have to do is you have to figure out exactly what it is. And that's what I do. I do the herbal education consultations and talk to people and figure out what it is, give them a plan, herbs, lifestyle, and food on how they can get themselves back balanced. Because when your balance is like this, then you can't get what you need out of your life when you like this. It has to come more like this so you can have what you want, you know.
And that takes a bit of discipline as well. Like you can tell
It's all
people,
discipline.
I was gonna say a lot of times because you're like really, this is like wisdom, right? Like we common sense would say we know this logically, right? But the get up and go and the push to force yourself to do it, a lot of people have to be reprogrammed into understanding why that's important to take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I've noticed that when I've had conversations with, it doesn't even matter what color, what gene, race, ethnicity, or none of that. A lot of men and women who work a lot tend to have very poor health, poor lifestyle. Driving, making commutes, not eating lunch, drinking coffee with that
All
fake creamer stuff.
right.
Stress,
Cholesterol builder. Call it cholesterol builder.
stress, all that. Working with people, energy, just all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff. So, uh, yeah, let me show you have something coming up November 16th. I wanted to
Oh,
mention.
that's a love offering to the community. Like you were just saying about wisdom. There's a lot of accumulated wisdom in all of our families. And sometimes we utilize that, a lot of times we don't. So what happens is, myself and this author, Ellen Wood, we have found each other and we are the, kind of opposites of each other, as far as she's Swedish, I'm African descent, but she's just like somebody who is like African descent. And she loves being able to give. And, a lot of times different nationalities don't have contact with people that they want to work with. So she is so happy that I called her one day because I bought her book on Amazon and thought that book was so resonant to me. I felt like I wrote that book.
Right.
And you have to do that. You have to make alliances so that you can get the healing that's necessary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you build community, you build bridges with other communities, and that's what really builds strength. A lot of times they confuse us and make us think that we're supposed to only be in our own little sheltered communities and only deal with each other only and this and that. But that's really limiting, especially when it comes to health. A lot
Right.
of we're all mothers at some point, those who choose to be, you know what I mean? At the
Right.
end of the day, and we need to have better choices, better ideas for our next generation to push forward with so they can have better health.
Right. And I just sent you a couple other things I'm going to be doing coming up, because um this is a very busy season, because I talk about living with the seasons. I talk about how we have several different seasons and cycles within our own lives. And so this is the season of hibernation. So when you go down for the season of hibernation, you are going down to regenerate yourself, to re-educate yourself, to remember, to relearn. And that's the time when you rebuild.
Yeah.
So this is the time when you find new skills, read the book, write the papers,
Right.
this is that time,
Yes.
And as I was telling you earlier, I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning writing some information that I would love to tell you about before we get finished here today.
Absolutely.
But it's one of the things I like to talk to people about is our cycles. And our cycles are things that happen very quickly, time periods that are like fall, winter, spring, and summer, but they're cycles, and they're called birth, life, death, and rebirth.
Hmm.
And what happens is most of the time we're going to meet people when they say, oh, I'm in a situation, or my situation right now, or you just don't know what's going on with me. That is usually when you're in your death cycle.
Hmm.
That death cycle means that things are ending that will never come back again. And some of the things that end in your death cycle is, your kids graduate from school, you lose a job, quit, retire, or, get laid off. That's part of the death cycle. I mean, so there are a lot of things that are divorce, separation, leave a city. Those are things that happen your car goes down. Those are things that happen in a death cycle.
So
So
what? Forgive me, but
yeah,
when you're saying death cycle, what is that for? What does that mean, though? What does that mean? Death
that's
cycle. I
what I'm
see.
saying is that
Yeah.
it's that we have these cycles that go very quickly in our lives, and if we recognize what cycle we're in, then we can also recognize how to put ourselves into the next cycle. So when
Ooh.
you have a death cycle and you have all these things that are ending and you feel like your life is falling apart, really what that means is that if you have written goals that you have written down, we're not talking about something you thought about and that you're going to think about again when you want to start. What we're talking about is if you have written goals, what you do when you're going through a death cycle is that you immediately go to your goals and pull out something that you wanted to do. So if you lose your job,
Yes.
okay, you were working maybe you were working at the county school system.
Okay.
Now, this is your opportunity to go forth and either open up your own acting school or go work at a private school or, go do an after school program, which is, you can never have too many of those. I mean, and there's all kinds of things that would have been on your list of things that were goals that once you recognize you are in that death cycle, you put yourself into your birth cycle, So maybe you open up an after school program, because, and that immediately puts you in the birth cycle. Birth cycle means that there either is an actual birth or there's some newness. You got a new job, you open up a new business, you move to a new city, you have a new relationship, newness is what a birth cycle is.
Incredible.
So then this I wish I had known this when I was in my 20s, but
Me too.
I learned this through working in mandalas and some other things all combined, and I made my own thing out of it. But okay, so then the rebirth, which is after birth, is say you have this this after school program. Okay, so it's going good. Now what you've decided to do is you've decided to go ahead and maybe I gave you the wrong one. You decided to go ahead and get some grants. So now that's even better for you because it goes and takes you to a whole nother level. I sent you a better copy, Yeah. And that's the thing is when you have an opportunity to make something better, that's a rebirth. And then whatever you made better and it's just going along and things are great, that's called life. And everything is going, I mean, that's it. But the thing is that we don't know this. And so some people stay in death cycles for their whole life. because they get a lot of attention out of it. And or they in somebody else's life and somebody else's business who don't want to strive to pull themselves up, and so you over there in their business, so that keeps you in their death cycle, so you stay in a death cycle with them. I met a woman who was trying to help her daughter, who was with a guy she didn't like. She was 16. The parents didn't like the guy. Well, she ends up getting pregnant by this guy. And so then they have a baby girl, and the mom decides, well, we're going to help her. We're going to stick with her. Right. So then, they just in that death cycle with that daughter. It was a brief birth cycle, and they stayed in the death cycle because it was a negative relationship. And they stayed in that death cycle until the grandchild got to be 8 years old. And then they decided, you know what, this is not changing. We cannot stay. We're getting older. We cannot stay in this like this forever. And they came to an event that I was doing in Florida with Tom Joyner and things like that. And
Tom Joyner.
Yeah. And I was able to show them that they were stuck in this death cycle. And that's why their life wasn't going good. That's why their relationship wasn't changing and growing. That's why they weren't going on vacation and enjoying their time together and their money and looking forward to a retirement and all of that, because they weren't allowing themselves to go into any birth cycles, which is all of this stuff I just mentioned, because they were stuck in the death cycle with the daughter.
So when you say birth cycle, you basically mean stepping outside of the old same you've been doing. Try something different. Do something new.
Goals. I'm talking goals. Because most of the time, women, their goals are the goals of their partner, their church, their kids, their job. They don't have their own personal written goals. And that's what I'm saying. You have to have your own personal written goals so that you can take yourself from my situation to something that you want, that you are directing, that you are in charge of. And most women are allowing everything else to be in charge of them. And this is one of the reasons why they have womb issues. And that's what I was saying.
Woo, I knew you was coming full circle. I was just waiting for, look, like I'm doing my face muscle exercises.
You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and so these are kinds of things that we talk about in these classes, so that this is information that the average woman would not come upon. And we have already lived this life. We have already read all these books and put these things together. And so every once in a while, the elders like myself and Eshe, we do things so that we can bring people together and educate and guide. And what the old people used to say, put your hand on them, You got to keep your hand on them.
Oh man, that's old school. I love that.
Yeah. You got to keep your hand on them.
Can I mention the soap? Listen.
Yes.
Okay, this soap, y'all.
And it's not going to be that soap, because I teach everybody to make their own brand, Yeah, I sent it again so it can be good. Yeah.
This is the best selling, great, great smelling, healing soap.
Yeah.
Okay. No shade to the corporate soap. I'm just saying.
No, it is some shade to the corporate soap. Why? Because the corporate soap a lot of times is detergent, the same stuff you use to clean your driveway and your clothes and a lot of other industrial type soaps. So putting that in your VJ and on your face and other places is the worst thing you can do. And you wondering why you having problems and you leaking and you wet all the time, is because you putting detergent in your VJ.
Damn.
So
you gotta put it to it like that.
Well, you know what? The thing is that I am very much about people being real clear on what they need to heal. So that, what I talk to the sisters about all the time, tell the truth so you can heal. Tell the truth so you can heal. So when there's problems and you keep trying to allow those problems to be okay, when it's eating you up inside, then you need to tell the truth so you can heal. I don't know why that's going on like that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's on my phone just as good as it want to be.
Mine too. Too.
Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. I did put it on TikTok.
How's that?
It changed it, you know. Oh, there it is. Okay.
All right.
Right. Thank you. See, tenacity. See, you know what? Look at that. That was a situation right there. That was a death thing because we wanted that to work. But you had to go to get it up so that it would look proper. And immediately, birth cycle, great stuff. We're happy. That's how fast the cycles change.
I'm gonna put it back. But that was a very good example because a lot of times,
Tenacity.
tenacity is what is missing right at this time because of the speed of the TV, internet, phone thing.
We were just talking about that.
Everybody's used to everything moving quickly and fast. And a lot of times they don't show the work that goes into the final product of things. So that's a mystery to a lot of people. Sometimes they don't understand how you go from raw materials and this and that to the end of the product. And they are like, oh, I quit. Even my children have attempted to be guilty of that. I'd be like, you got to put time into your trombone and your trumpet or your guitar. You have to put time in. Just like I got to do some sit-ups. I got to put some time in. I done gained 30 pounds. It's ridiculous. So I know during the week, I got to drink smoothies. I got to just drink smoothies and eat salad and get some cardio. Sister Herbsistah, this has just been an honor. I don't want to hold you up because I want to get into how do I say this? I don't know if you want to get into the aspects of the conversation I'm about to have with my audience, and I didn't want to.
Okay. Well, you got my things on there. People are more than welcome to come to that event.
Hold on, let me put that back.
And I'm having some other events because, like I said, this is the time of hibernation. So I just created a womanist herbology.
What?
Womanist herbology.
What?
Yes, this is historical. It's historical. Because I took when I was at Berkeley, I studied with Professor Alice Walker.
Yes.
So I've had many conversations with her and in her office, etc., in Berkeley, and I know very well that what she was thinking when she put that whole thing in The Color Purple about womanism, being a womanist, but also growing up. And if you have Southern parents, they would always say to girls that were very independent and strong-minded and doing stuff that they were womanish, just like the boys would be mannish.
I remember that word.
You remember that? Yeah. People don't say that anymore. But
and hainty, she acted hainty.
Oh yeah, hainty. Yep. So that is the womanist herbology is coming up in January. Give everybody a chance to go through all of this, and you can go on my site. I'm going to do some seminars. One seminar just to explain the concept and what we're going to be doing. And but I know that it's going to be, I can feel it, that it's going to be a university level course because women of color and Native Americans have created herbalism in this country. But what happened in so many ways is that European men or white men would go to the midwife, would go to the auntie, would go to the mammy and ask them how were they curing and healing people. And they would tell them and they say, show me. And they would show them because they were so-called chattel at the time. And then they would take it and present a paper at the American Medical Association.
Right.
Or they would take it and go back to England and open up a herbal school and a healing school and all of this. So we have been, what did they say? Were they being funny?
Yes, Yada says, when you're 150 and still look 25, let me know.
Well, I got to see Yes Yada before I can make a comment on that,
On Twitch? Okay.
But that's the thing about womanist herbology. African American women, native peoples, they had a herbology that was not like ours, and what everybody's using here now is what it is that we have created, Native Americans and African Americans, so we're going to really learn the herbology from that point of view. That's from amazing. The people of the earth point of view,
Can I
It's
ask you
not
something?
done. It's not done anywhere yet.
Let me ask you this, and not to be all Debbie Down or whatever, but they have been talking about these controversies of like, especially during the you know what epidemic that popped off. Was there any backlash, any heat? Did you get any
No,
nothing?
I didn't get anything because one, I never I was trying to learn about it as quickly as everybody else. So they're doing the research and I'm looking at the research too, because it was a novel event, 1 in 100 year event, and the viruses was novel, everything was novel. So people were taking my lung tonic, they were doing various things I had, but I did not put it out there like that because I had 8 people in my family die
Ooh,
in
yeah.
Flint. It was wiping people out, and I did not want to be part of that thing where I done said something and the person think they cool and then they feel good and then they die. Because that happened to one of my cousins.
About
Good, and then he died. You know, so
yes.
the thing is that I am very respectful of the plants, of the power of the plants, of
Yeah.
the herbs, of the position of all healing modalities as something that the creator gave us that we need to use back and forth. I am one of those people that I would say go to the doctor, get the test, get the ultrasound and all of the scans, and then come back and let's look at it, and then we'll come up with a program, because that is part of the creator too. These machines are incredible, you know.
Yes, the fact that they can look inside of your body
Yeah,
is
they can look
incredible.
inside your arteries, they can look inside your cells,
It
so
doesn't have to be one or the other. You can
it
use one
doesn't
to
have to be, it's integrative.
get a diagnosis.
Integrative medicine,
Look at this.
and I'm all
Ooh.
about making sure that you get the best so that you can have a good life. I'm not trying to get all the credit. It's plenty of people out here that need help. And like one of my friends used to say, it's plenty of sick folk to go around, so people need to understand you're not being disrespectful to your body to use everything that can heal you.
Yes.
What and that's what I want to say before we go is that because our community, and particularly we leave here early, we I think the average lifespan is 84 years old for Latino and white people, and black people, black women, they leave here at 82 years old, and black men leave here at 64 years old.
Ooh.
You
Oh
know,
yeah, you were just talking to me about high blood pressure stuff.
that's what I'm doing. I am doing what is called the Great Blood Pressure Movement. And what that is that we are teams of us are going to go out to the gas stations, the barbershops, the beauty salons, the Home Depot, the places where I know we go, because we love our people and we know what we do. And so we go there and say, hey, and this is how everybody needs to greet each other these days. Hey, how's your blood pressure?
Everybody
Because
eating that fast food.
it's a lot. We were just talking about, the whole COVID thing. That was a trauma for the world. And trauma sets up blood pressure issues,
Yes.
genetic. African descent people have higher blood pressure at lower ages than any other people in the world. That's number one, but we also have to recognize that we need to be taking care of ourselves on a regular basis. We don't want to wait till something is wrong and then try to use all the plants we can to heal it.
Right.
What herbal medicine is about is being proactive. So you're doing things in advance of having things wrong. You don't have to wait and see, oh, now I feel something, so let me take it. No, that is not how it works. You need to do it in advance so you never feel anything,
Yes. I wanted to. Oh, go please.
Go ahead. So that's what I'm saying is that, taking your blood pressure every day is being proactive. And you could get a blood pressure cuff from Amazon for $25, and you keep a journal of your blood pressure. And when that thing starts changing, you know something's, happening to your body. And that's the first way you're going to know.
You should be, and that goes back to tapping in with your gut.
Yeah. And then that's also one of the little machines that can help you understand what's happening, Yeah. So, that is part of how we are going to be able to keep ourselves on the planet and have our kids have great grandparents at the same time that they have grandparents, and, not just, and not have mothers and fathers and grandparents. This is getting to the point where it's ridiculous,
The only place I'm tapping in after we get you're with your friend, is the sex part, where people are the way people are doing different sexual acts at this time have been a very big component of a lot of the womb issues and prostate issues as well, health issues overall.
Well, the thing is that prostate is it's just like any other little sac of organ. It's right there next to the kidneys, and sediment goes through it all the time, and it's hanging underneath the kidneys. And what happened, and it makes the semen that goes through there and goes out through the glands to go out of the phallic muscle, which is, that's a muscle. So the thing is if you drive all the time, if you like a truck driver, and you bouncing all the time, this is a problem for your prostate, and then you got bad food on the road, and you don't know what your blood pressure is. You're not drinking water. You're drinking, pop or sodas or drink, whatever you call them, and you just got a whole bunch of, circumstances all at once that's causing you to have a health issue. And you're trying to get wherever you're going in 8 hours because you only can drive so long. So we have a lot of various issues, and we all have to take responsibility for some of these issues that we're having, and recognize, like you kept saying earlier, you know what? You don't have to be a doctor to bring out that blood pressure cuff at the Thanksgiving the Thanksgiving dinner. You don't. But you need to be able to say, okay, everybody, sit down and drink some water and be quiet for a minute. Then we're going to take everybody's blood pressure. That's a good, loving thing to do, instead of just giving people chitlins and all this sugar.
Hot sauce. And
hot sauce is good for you, especially for men, because that's one of them circulatory things that keep your circulation going. So them little tiny bottles that they have, that's one of them things that they need to carry around, because that's going to keep their blood flowing and everything moving. And as they get older, blood flow is everything for a man, because it's got everything to do with that phallic muscle, whether it can go up and down. Yeah, we both did the same.
Up and down.
Right. So men are very conscious about that. So yeah, that phallic muscle important,
And that's a problem with a lot of even men now in their 30s.
I know.
Poor diet,
lifestyle, stress, bad food,
pills, too much alcohol. They've been really pushing alcohol in the hip hop, world a lot.
You know why? Because everybody got their brand, and they want their brand to be successful. You got P. Diddy with a brand. You got, the Kardashians with brands. I mean, everybody got a brand, and they want you to buy it. They don't want you to buy clothes no more. They want you to buy something you could keep buying every day.
Alcohol, and they're causing more alcoholism in our community with that.
Well, if nothing else, one of the things is that for liquor or men, they only supposed to have a shot a day, like 1.25 ounces. Only 2 beers, about 12 ounces. And they drinking way more than that. And this is directly related to how your blood pressure is, based on how much alcohol and beer, etc., that you drink. So if you're drinking a 6-pack, that's why your blood pressure is high.
Ooh.
Plus
you sitting all day.
And you sitting. Yeah, that's inactivity, no exercise, another reason. I mean, so there's a lot of reasons why we have these issues. But, thinking that, you could drink as much as you could drink is not a good thing.
Right. And then, of course, now the hookah is a popular thing. I don't know if you familiar
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
big in Atlanta, but
I know LA, Vegas,
but you
Chicago.
know what the thing is that we are pack animals. That's the thing about us. That's why, we love to be together with our families and all
Yeah,
that, because we are pack animals. So when people get into groups in which that is the level of fun for them, then they're going to do things that are unhealthy because that's the group's fun. You know, it's
gotcha.
like used to be when I was growing up back in the day, what guys used to do was their pack of fun was playing basketball. So I ain't seen no pack of boys walking around like that with basketballs, going from one neighborhood to the next, playing other teams and
Yeah.
in other neighborhoods. They don't do that no more, you know? So
Well, because now it's turned into one you want to fight, not even fight anymore. It
shoot.
becomes shoot gunplay,
Yeah,
gunplay now.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, again, Dr. Herbsistah,
Yes.
404-244-5565. Reach out for a consultation. She has consulted me in different endeavors.
Mhm.
Uh, Beautiful conversations, wisdom always given. For a fee, y'all. Come on now. It's beautiful. Definitely support because she's worth it, and you're worth it because you see the skin. That is a direct reflection of what my colon and my intestines are working with. Okay, and my reproductive area. So get with this lady. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in with me. I know we're a little early. Those of you who will catch up, will catch up and support the sister. She is also at IG, Dr. Herb Sister. That's DRHERBSISTAH. For my folks in Germany, India, Egypt, we got a pretty nice following in Canada too. Shout out. Reach out, hit up these Black Americans. You know, we invented pretty much everything. We did. We did. So I'm just saying, we did. So remember that. Okay. It's the herbs too, all of that. So no joke. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Now I'm gonna dive into the celebrity connection gossipy part of this. Because I'm talking about like how the youth are very interested. I pay attention. Sometimes I do a bit of research on what people are watching, and I've been noticing that they've been promoting this Krishan Blueface stuff. And I don't know. I didn't want to burn your time with any of that unless you wanted to give some
You
uh
know what? I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what people think is important, and I feel sorry for her.
me too, actually.
And the thing is that she don't have an elder to come and put their hand on her. We were just talking about that.
Mm,
Somebody need to put their hand on her. People are criticizing her, and like his mama, and condemning her, and people are setting her up for stupid pictures in Walmart, and you
yeah.
know I mean, this sister needs help. And this is part of what we used to do when we would take on other people's kids, other people's cousins, your mama's sister's kids,
All of that.
all of that. And this right here is not supposed to be happening to this young woman who has so much potential and so much to give. And she's so damaged. And when something starts going wrong with her, when she starts getting to the point where they on a watch, a suicide watch or something, then people gonna try to act like they wanted to help her. But that
Mm.
is not. None of us are immune to that. And this is ridiculous how they treating her. And I would like to see it as a cautionary tale to some of the younger sisters that you could be all in with a brother. As soon as you get the baby, the deal is done.
Teach. Oh, teach. And they also have to have the ears to listen. Have to
Yeah.
be open
Yeah.
to
Well, the
information.
thing is that a lot of times I guarantee you she can tell you now. And she only been in that game for 6 months, you know?
Maybe a little, yeah, a little longer than that.
I mean, I'm talking about the baby's age,
Oh,
you know?
less.
But he left her pregnant, and this is not how we want to put our men out there. We got so many
Teach.
incredible men who are doing
Teach.
incredible things, and we want to extol the virtues of that.
Teach. I love how you said that. Are you familiar with a woman named Cynthia G?
No, I'm not familiar
Okay.
with her.
Well, she was kind of telling things, but the way she would express it would be very anti-man. And
No,
so you
I got
saying
three
that
sons.
very refreshing and beautiful, and we need to hear that because the blood brothers is not the enemy.
They're not,
Okay.
you know what? That's our community. We kept brothers alive. Mamas and sisters kept brothers alive during some of the worst points in our history. No, it's about how you raise people. And I can
Teach.
already see where why he like he is because what his mama do, you know? So
Mm.
we need to extol the virtues of the men who are inventing things, who are creating apps, who are, you know, the man who created a super soaker is a black man.
Oh,
We need to talk.
GPS,
Yeah,
cell
GPS. We
phone,
need to talk about something positive about black men.
air conditioner.
We don't need this. We don't need this. And you know, and he happens to be one, but we need to, for everyone that we have like that, we need to go find another one who's doing the right thing.
They need to be able to put that in the social media realm. They're not pushing that though. They're
Well, you
only
know what? Ain't nobody gonna click on it. People like they like the
right.
death cycle. People like the death
The
cycle.
death cycle. Ooh,
They thrive on watching the death cycle.
teach.
You know?
That was well said. That was well said. But that was going in with like a lot of brothers and sisters been trying to catch each other's attention by doing all kinds of freaky deaky things. And they said that throat cancer is on the rise. And they say it's mostly coming from the O flavor. You know, all rights reserved. All rights reserved. But they're saying that throat cancer is coming from a lot of these different endeavors people are doing.
Well, you know what? Let's put it bluntly, because it's a medical issue that we're talking about.
Come
And
on.
the medical issue is that a lot of people have HPV. It may not even be active where they know that they have HPV, but in engaging in various oral sex, you can transfer that virus. Virus is a cold virus. Virus is a herpes virus. And we should also talk about that. You can't, you know, herpes, everybody got herpes. Everybody got herpes. This is what I have to tell my kids all the time, you know? But HPV is a virus, and you get it into your body, into your mouth, your throat, etc.
It's a wrap.
It's going to look, it's a warm, dark, moist place, you know?
I
So
mentioned this because they're saying, according to mayoclinic.org, shout out Mayo Clinic, this is on the rise, they say, with a certain age group. Did you know this?
yes, I did.
And I've been doing a little bit of research about this. Throat cancer is on the rise because of a lot of the old type of sexual experience, S word experience. So be aware of these things and do take herbs and take care of yourself. Change your you just said the word several times. Your lifestyle. Your lifestyle, you gotta get sometimes gauge if it's worth the gamble. All right. Um, where was I going? Where else was I going with that? I had some Williams Institute law findings. I just didn't know how much time I had with you.
Okay.
Um, basically, it goes into like, I'm not trying to go into people's bedrooms too tough, but I am talking about it is connected also in a way. I went to the CDC.gov. Let's see right here. Not that I agree with everything CDC.gov does, but their research, you know, I do research, so I kind of understand, you know, how they get their information. So they're saying a growing body of research shows that, well, centuries of racism and discrimination in this country have had a profound negative impact on communities of color. Let's keep moving though, because my main focus here right now is just to talk about different sexuality like experiences that contribute to what was that you said in the very beginning? Being honest,
Telling yourself the truth.
being true with yourself. And a lot of good friends of mine have shared that usually when they're getting these cysts and these fibroids, it's been because of an experience they've had or experiences how they carry their sexual life. Basically, I'm gonna just say that. A lot of women I know have been opening legs everywhere. Is that, should I? And
Well,
men
you know what? The
been
thing
like,
is that this is what I'm talking about paternalism, because we've been taught that when women have enjoyable and free sex, that is a problem.
oh no, I was going to the
No, what
next
I'm going to
sentence.
say, and then when men do it, they a playboy and they got
Right.
it like that, you
That's
know?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is that you can, either person can come down and get something. That's either one of them, men
Well,
or
yes,
women.
I didn't want to leave it there. I wasn't trying to make us the problem. I was just going to say that when we're having these type of, you know, liberated or free love, what, I don't know how to put it, when we're allowing ourselves to be expressive, the partners sometimes are not always being honest.
You got to use a condom.
Oh,
Period. You're not married
that's
to
right.
them. You got to use a condom. They go out of town. You got to use a condom. I mean, you know, you got to get tested. You got to keep up with that,
That's
because
all
once
right.
you get
Yeah.
herpes, I can't tell you how many women they get herpes from somebody they thought they had a good relationship with, and then he move on. He didn't gave it to how many women, and now you are feeling some kind of way, because now you feel like, oh man, I'm gonna have this, and you know, and it could, if I have a child coming through while I got a outbreak, that child could be blind. I don't want my you know, I don't want to tell any other man that I meet that I got herpes. How do I handle that? It's very stressful, and stress helps the sores and everything break out. You know,
Teach.
it's a virus. When you're
Teach.
dealing with viruses, you cannot do anything except manage them. You know,
Yes.
it's like a cold virus, and you know, it's all of these are viruses.
Teach. So they're showing this little herpes bump on Jaden Alexis. That's his other baby mama that he lives with. And they're saying that she got what they call the package. So that's what this was about. Not playing the whole thing. Shout out to Miss Lowdown. This is from Miss Lowdown. She's saying Jaden Alexis is out of here fronting and now being clowned for possibly catching that package. Because right after this guy, Blueface, this past weekend was found in Florida with Krishan again, he came on right back to Jaden. So here's what this sister's talking about.
And welcome. And I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I was looking at the live that they was doing, you know, the day that he came back from the 8-round bout with Krishan. And oh, by the way, Krishan is out here bragging and telling everybody that her and Blueface is still mingling and tingling without protection because she's trying to have another baby by him. So I'm gonna just say this, y'all. Whatever it is, because I don't know, I don't be around them. Thank the Lord, I don't. Okay, y'all. But whatever it is that Jaden might have, Krishan got it too. Krishan has it too. So y'all just be on the lookout for her. You know, look, she gonna have
Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin.
Anyways, yeah, so that's a big issue now. It's just
You know what? The thing is that communicable diseases have always been with us. Always, you know? Okay. We now have names for them, but people have always had something going on, you know? And the fact of the matter is that, you know, you do the best you can do, but making sure that you are you know, being with somebody who's wanting to be with you and being true to you, that's part of the bond. And I know that might be old fashioned, you know, that might be old fashioned, but you know, that's the thing that we gotta acknowledge is that, you know, everybody makes mistakes.
Yes.
But you know, once you make a mistake, you're supposed to learn from it. You ain't supposed to keep doing it.
Yes, unfortunately, sometimes we don't listen the first time and then it comes back around, child. And then it's worse the next time. Woo. But that goes back into trusting yourself and reading the signs.
And also thinking that you're worthy. You're worthy of having a guy who wants to be with you only if that's what y'all want. You know, you're worthy of having standards of what you want. You're worthy of that. You don't have to go into a situation where it's like, you know, it's plenty of men out there. It's plenty of water out there. It's plenty of food out there. We don't have no, things where it's a less than situation. It ain't no in values of things that we need, you know? So, you know, I know it's big. I know it's big, but you know,
that's a very mature way to look at that. So what I also research has shown, guys and ladies and gentlemen out there, that this next generation, what are they, Gen X, I don't know these names, but the ones who are like 20 and younger for the first time in a very long time are remaining virgins longer.
Yeah, they are, and they're not having children either.
That would be my daughter. She's very focused. Like,
yeah. Well, you know what? That means that they learned. They didn't have to, that F around and find out. They already found out, you know?
Yeah.
They found out, so they learning. So
yeah, they're right under that 25 and under the 25 and up actually were the ones that got caught up in the future pill popper promoter aspect of life. But this right under that, yes, they're not even popping pills.
Well, the thing is each generation is supposed to get better. Yes. But, we have several tiers within our group, within our society. We know this, and I call them the cousins, so we know that we got all kinds of cousins. We got to love them. We know who they are. We know how they roll. And we just got to acknowledge that while at the same time, continue to pull up as many people as possible. That's how we doing it, I
love that. That's a very progressive way to push that.
Yeah. But I got, my phone is blowing up. So
I already know.
Yeah. So I got to go now.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right, y'all. Tell them Tommy Cole sent ya. Tell them Tommy Cole sent ya. Tell Dr. Herbsistah that you heard from me and that you're reaching out from this show. And let's see how many of y'all actually, show support to her herbs. She is really amazing. Her works are really and truly a godsend. I'm tripping off my lighting right now. That's what's going on. And this dog came in here. I'm dog sitting, y'all. I never thought I'd do that ever in 1,000 years, ever. Chihuahua at that, y'all. I mean, good grief. But I am. Hey, get off my bed. Get off my bed. Get down. Thank you. Anyway, that's it. Okay, so the only other thing I was going to show, and that's Dr. Herbsistah down in Atlanta. Go check her products out. Her shit really works. It's just sexual stuff like this, though. See, my charger's tripping. Hold up. Whoa. Woo. Hold on. Don't forget to click like, y'all. Please click like on my show. It does help with the algorithms. And also, I bust a light bulb. If anybody would like to donate $6 for a new light bulb, that'd be really cool. I did just lose my job again, y'all. It's crazy. I didn't want to talk about that in this particular thingamajiggle, though. We'll talk about that at another time. All right. But anyways, I just was going to press play on this, and then because this thing is low battery and it's going to be live, and that's going to be embarrassing. So let's do 5.
So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie.
You're not Gabrielle Union, spilling the beans on Dwayne Wade's dirtiest secrets and then burning him at the stake after he betrayed her once more. Dwayne Wade has been
allegedly. All this is allegedly, all rights reserved. Basically, when people have all these nasty, weird, little kiki freaky little sex games, germs are involved. So after you get the germ, hit up Dr. Herbsistah. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I'm gonna probably do some more interviews later or some more gossipy, whatever. Click like, hit up Tommy Cole Show TV on Cash App if you'd love to really donate and support. I am literally putting these things toward my little studio And thank you. I hope you learned some stuff today. So instead of getting cut up, you can just push the little thing out and it'll pop off and boom, bam, boom, bam. Better health to everybody. This has been the Tommy Go Show. Don't forget to click like, share it, subscribe. I love it. All right. Have a good day. Yeah.